still what we would call a couplet that says there's rotation. Red would be winds away from the radar. Greens, which is most of the atmosphere, is moving towards the radar. So green is towards, red is away, and that is a sign that we have rotation when you have a red and a green right next to each other like that on the radar. So that's one of the spots that we're watching, and this is moving towards the turnpike now. So if you're out towards the turnpike, Route 28, that's a concerning area at the moment. Then we look for the hook on this. That's showing up as well. So there is a whole lot happening here within this storm. I'm going to zoom out for a moment because, yes, we have a tornado warning on this storm in Allegheny County, just to the east of Pittsburgh. So downtown Pittsburgh, you are fine. If you're in the city of Pittsburgh, if you're up towards Cranberry, even if you're down in Bethel Park or Upper St. Clair, back in South Fayette, Moon Township, things are fine. It's eastern Allegheny County right now that we have the greatest amount of concern. That's where the rotation is. There are some storms pushing in towards Elizabeth, but that one has the warning on it. They're out towards Fox Chapel, just to the east of Fox Chapel at the moment. I just wanted to look to see if there are any more pops in the velocities or areas of rotation that easily pop out for us here. That we need to be looking for, because this is just one of several storms that have shown signs of rotation over the course of this evening. We're not getting too many damage reports coming in at the moment, but we've had a few reports of funnel clouds. I was just efforting, as this warning was popping up, I was chatting with somebody online about getting video of rotation that they picked up out towards the airport in Westmoreland County. So certainly when it comes to storms like this one has had signs of rotation. That rotation has weakened substantially as this storm has traveled along the Allegheny River upstream, so heading towards Plum, but Plum is next in line to see this one. So we're going to check out those velocities again. We're going to get in a little closer to Plum, between Fox Chapel, Plum, Oakmont, up that way. That's where we've been seeing the greatest amounts of rotation. Oakmont is sort of in that area, and it's this whole spot here, Oakmont down to Penn Hills, that we're watching at the moment as this storm is approaching the turnpike. So this is the turnpike. If you're familiar with this area, the turnpike connects with the Parkway out in Monroeville. Then it continues on into Westmoreland County. So this is one of those ones that wants to continue on into Westmoreland County if it is able to hold itself together. And hopefully that's not the case. But this is just yet another one of those storms that we've seen this evening that has been exhibiting these signs of rotation. Let's see. From the National Weather Service, just like we've been telling you, this tornado warning cell looks to be falling apart quickly, but they're going to let the warning ride a little longer given what we've seen earlier today. So that's the communications from the National Weather Service, just what we've been telling you here, that it does look like it's weakening, but you want to see those several scans of the radar to make sure, because you want to be absolutely sure that you're calling off a tornado warning when you've had a history of rotating storms over the course of the night. So Oakmont, Penn Hills, let's wait this one out in the basement. It's going to be a couple more minutes. This is going to move off to the east, but these have been some storms that have certainly shown the signs, or enough signs, of rotation in the atmosphere where that could translate down to the surface or down to the ground in the form of a tornado. And we want to make sure everyone's safe, and that's why we're hopping on and taking over the newscast this way. We want to convey this information to you. We want you to know what's happening around you, and absolutely bottom line, we want you and your family to be safe when storms like this break out. So Penn Hills, Oakmont, wait in the lowest level of your home. O'Hara Township, you're looking better. It's starting to shape up for you, at least in terms of the rotation of this storm. One of the other things we look at, as we were showing you at the beginning, is we look for that hook echo, that sign that there's some rotation happening with the rain. We look for those, what we would call weak echo areas. And while this storm does sag down to the south out towards Penn Hills, it is not as defined as it was earlier when this tornado warning was first issued. So out towards Oakmont, Penn Hills, this is still trying to shift off to the east a little bit. Plum, still be in the lowest level of your home. The National Weather Service has not yet called off this tornado warning. I'm going to take another look at what they're saying here, if they're going to cancel that one as of yet, because what we've been seeing is a weakening on the radar, which is a very good sign. And this tornado warning was originally scheduled to go until 5:15, but I have a feeling this one's going to be wrapping up early just because the dynamics that did trigger that warning have been weakening. We're going to take a trip around the radar to see some of the other things going on because, of course, the earlier rotation that we were seeing on this storm was mainly to the south, traveling from areas of Washington, basically up into Westmoreland County. So they took the long trek across southern Allegheny County to get there. Right now, we do have a big area of storms, a line of them that stretches down through eastern Allegheny County with some lighter rains, later to steady rains for Pittsburgh and parts to the west as you go into the western parts of Allegheny County. So we have this line here that extends back into Washington. This is going to travel along I-70. So I-70 is going to be a slow go just because of the steadier, heavier rain that is associated with this line of storms that's moving eastward. But it's eastern Allegheny County, where we still have that tornado warning. The National Weather Service is agreeing with what I've been telling you, that things are starting to lighten up, which is a good sign, but they want to be absolutely sure, considering what we've been seeing through the course of the evening. Another report of a funnel cloud that was seen at Route 22 and Route 48 from Allegheny County 911. Now, they are saying that was all the details they were able to get, but we've seen several reports of funnel clouds. I'm seeing an image here from emergency management that could be a funnel cloud out towards Monroeville based on what we've been seeing, and there's some damage showing up in El Rama, some trees and power lines down out there from some earlier storms that have cut through, that have had some rotation associated with them. Other shots, yep, there were certainly funnel clouds associated with this one of many that we've been seeing, but the National Weather Service has not yet stated that they want to drop this tornado warning just yet. It was originally scheduled to expire at 5:15 for this slow-moving storm in eastern Allegheny County. So this is moving now from the Penn Hills area out towards Plum. If you're in New Ken, you should probably be in your basement as well. The best dynamics for rotation are a little to your south, but of course the warning goes right up to you. So anytime there's the warning, you want to take it seriously and be in the lowest level of your home. Plum, this is in line for you, as well as Monroeville, as this continues to work through. We're getting the velocities showing up here. There's still a little something trying to show up back here with the reds and greens telling us that it's spread out, which is a sign that it's weaker, but it had a tornado warning associated with it, and there's still that twisting motion happening in the atmosphere, albeit not as tight or distinct as it was earlier this evening when we were watching these storms come through. We're going to back this one up a little bit so you can see what we've been watching here. So this storm pretty much popped off just north of Pittsburgh. That's where we started seeing some of those first signs of major rotation there. And there it is, right there north of Pittsburgh. This was what sort of triggered the alarm bells on the radar to say, hey, tornado warning with this. Now watch this area here as it moves up into where we have the tornado warning now. You can see it followed that path. That rotation was certainly showing up there, but over the past couple scans, it's lightened up and stretched out, which is a sign that it's weakening. So this was one of those quick spin-up type storms that we've been seeing here. Moving right now through the Penn Hills area. This is going to be moving on into northern Allegheny, or northern Westmoreland County, north of Monroeville. So Monroeville, this is just north of you. This is just north of Edgewood. In Edgewood, you're safe. The worst of it's to your northeast, and this one is moving eastward. So that's a good sign with that. I'm going to check back in. I'm going to pop up the regular radar here so we can see what we're looking at in terms of if there's a hook on here or not, and it's not showing as distinctly either. You're getting that heavy rain. Penn Hills, it's dumping on you. Plum, it's about to, but we continue with this tornado warning. The National Weather Service has not yet decided to drop this warning just yet, and there's the latest scan. That one's dropping down, so we're going to hang out with this likely for a couple more minutes at least. Till 5:15 is when this warning was originally scheduled to go. we're still seeing some of those signs that there might be some rotation hanging out there. The National Weather Service has not dropped this warning just yet. Getting a report that on Washington Boulevard near the Highland Park Bridge, where we had telling you when we first hopped on that that's the area to be watching, Highland Park Bridge. Numerous trees down on both sides of Washington Boulevard near the Highland Park Bridge in the city of Pittsburgh. And that is from Allegheny County 911. They're getting that report in right now. This storm continues to move eastward. Right now, Penn Hills is sort of in the thick of it. The worst of it is just south of Oakmont. Now, if you are in Oakmont, wait this one out in the lowest level of your home. I know it might just be lightly raining over you right now, but this storm is very, very close to your area. Wait it out in the safe spot, the lowest level of your home, and just wait a couple more minutes as this one passes east. This is now moving towards where the Parkway and where the Turnpike come together out in Monroeville, actually just north of that point along the Turnpike out towards Plum. So we're going to get back on the radar as the National Weather Service is continuing this warning. It looks like they might just hang on to this one until 5:15, its original expiration time, but certainly a storm that you have to take seriously. We're going to look back at the velocities. That's the radar's way of showing us how it's rotating. Again, not the greatest signs of rotation here. We have other things. Our radar looks at rotation a few different ways. It looks at rotation over time and rotation in the moment. And right now, in the moment, we're not seeing much in the way of rotation in the polygon or the box where the warning is. There's a little sign up towards 28. Sometimes those pop up in a scan. But over time, which is another way we look at the rotation, you can see that it's lightened up. It moved from basically Millvale towards Sharpsburg and then started to die out. And that's sort of in that area where we were getting those damage reports. So let's go in there and we can back it up while we're waiting for the latest radar scan to come in. And we'll look at the velocity. And we'll see how that matches up with where those damage reports were coming in. So we're going back in time here. We're going to back that storm up and pretty much get in it. There it is. That's the storm cutting through right here. And as that moved out towards the Highland Park Bridge, obviously either straight line winds or rotating winds came down. Certainly a situation where rotation is likely because of just what we've been seeing on the radar, what we've been seeing with those funnel clouds throughout the course of the late afternoon and evening, and what we've been seeing just in the last few minutes with this tornado warning that still continues from the Penn Hills area up towards New Ken. We're going to take a look at the radar because as Penn Hills, you're likely getting into a better situation. Obviously, the National Weather Service does say that this tornado warning does continue until 5:15. Penn Hills, you still have some heavy rain. Oakmont, you have some heavy rain just to your south, but improvements are coming your way. It is now safe to come out if you're in those areas. Now, if you're Plum to New Ken or anywhere in between near the river there, this is where you still want to wait this one out. You still want to wait it out. We've seen that history of rotation over the course of this late afternoon and evening. This storm could be no different. So sometimes they weaken and then they strengthen again as they tap into some new ingredients. And there have been some ingredients already in this area. I was just, as I was telling you when I first hopped on for this tornado warning, as that tornado warning came in, I was emailing with someone who got some video out towards Harrison City, which is pretty much in the vicinity of this, of potential rotation. Someone out towards the airport with potential funnel cloud, possible tornado. There were some trees in the way blocking that, but I was efforting that video, and hopefully we can have that for you a little bit later on. But you could see here that we still have this line of storms that's moving across the Allegheny River still, or along the Allegheny River, and now moving into that northern part of Westmoreland County. So this is moving out of Allegheny County, just south of New Kensington. There's still that drop here, that sometimes causes concern, but when it comes down to it, we've been seeing this lighten up in respects to the velocity, which is the motion in the storm. And typically, we always say the reds and greens show you that rotation, but when it's stretched out like this, that's usually a sign that the storm itself is just a bigger storm with some winds inside it. You don't have that tight couplet, which is a good sign for us as this warning continues. But the National Weather Service has continued this until 5:15. We're just looking at it one other way, and we're going to switch back to the traditional radar view that everybody's kind of familiar with. And we're going to take a look now at some of the storm reports that we've seen come in from this. So we had that tornado report, so tornado damage towards the Highland Park Bridge. So what's going to happen now? This is where we had the greatest rotation showing up on the map towards the Highland Park Bridge, which you see right here, and along Route 28. So this was right near 28 at late 4 o'clock in the evening. A lot of people are driving home from work, out for dinner, right on 28, a horrible time and a horrible place to have a tornado drop down. And I know there's multiple trees and power lines down near the Highland Park Bridge. Hopefully we can get through the night with just that being the case. Now, just down the line, as you travel 28 near Guy Suda Road, there as you're getting out towards O'Hara, moving on towards Blawnox, there was a funnel cloud reported from this same storm. This is the same tracking that that storm has taken. So there was a funnel cloud reported with that as that continued to move on through towards O'Hara. And we just got a new tornado warning, I believe, popping in. And this tornado warning, if my computer wants to pop it up, is now... They're continuing it. This one goes until 5:45, so we're going to be on this one for a while. The National Weather Service decided to extend this warning based on its history of dropping potential tornado damage out towards the Highland Park Bridge. This has had a history of rotation associated with it, and enough rotation and in between scans enough weakening and strengthening where they're playing it safe. So the National Weather Service is playing it safe, and I completely agree with playing it safe, because bottom line, that's what we want to end up happening. Everybody makes it through tonight. So Murraysville down to pretty much North Huntington. So where 22 and the Turnpike come together there, Murraysville, as you continue down the Turnpike or along 22 heading towards the way of Salem, that's where this warning ends. We continue with this tornado warning until now, 5:45 p.m. We started getting some reports in down the line. This storm has had a history of dropping at least damaging winds, and damaging enough to knock down several trees and power lines. There were funnel clouds in the vicinity. There was rotation on the radar, likely a tornado, and the National Weather Service is going to be likely surveying that this weekend to determine if it was, in fact, a tornado, which it likely was based on everything that we've seen. And number two, the strength of a tornado, which we can never tell until afterwards. You have to survey the damage to determine how bad it was. So you have to assume every tornado is the worst tornado when they're coming through. That's the safest way to do it, because you find out in hindsight how bad it was based on the damage that it caused. We've been seeing these strong winds associated with this storm. It's slowly moving at about 15 miles per hour. And on a clip like that, this is going to be moving towards Export, Pennsylvania. By the time we're at 5:24, that's going to take a little time to get there. Here we are at 5:10, so in the next 15 minutes or so, this is going to be moving towards Delmont, PA by 5:35. And on top of that, this is going to be towards Salem by 5:46. Salem is just outside of that warning at the moment, but this one again moving eastward at about 15 miles per hour. This is a real slow moving system. Oftentimes when you get these storms spinning on their own, they can slow down. And if they're not really attached well to a bigger line that's cutting through, which gives you those little tiny spin up ones, these ones have been spinning some long tracks. So this tornado warning, again, if you're in Murraysville, if you're in North Huntington, back to Salem, PA, along 22, If you're near the Turnpike and Route 22 or along 22 east of that point, you're going to want to wait this one out in your safe spot, which is the basement if you have it. If you don't have a basement, the first floor of your home in an interior room. That means you have as many walls between the exterior of your home and where you are on the inside. Oftentimes that's one of those bathrooms near a stairwell. That would typically be the spot with the most walls between you and the exterior of your home. On top of that, you want to be away from windows, because what happens is those windows could break and then you could get some damage. And if you have some time, especially out towards Salem Township where this one's moving in your direction, put some shoes on. If there's ever any damage, the last thing you want to do is try to find your shoes before you can take care of things. You want to protect your feet just in case some sharp objects get involved in the mix. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But this one's traveling along 22 right now, coming out of the Murraysville area and towards Salem Township, just north of North Huntington. But North Huntington, you could be dealing with some hail back there. We've been seeing hail as part of this system coming through. We have a new tornado warning now. This one just to the north. This tornado warning, where'd it go? Right now, Oakmont. This one continues for another couple minutes. New Kensington to Plum, and then our newer one, which is the Monroeville area, just outside of Monroeville, moving north of Harrison City towards Export. And Harrison City earlier this evening has already seen that rotation, and this is going to continue that eastward movement out of the Murraysville area. This tornado warning continues until 5:45 along Route 22. So we've seen several reports. I'm going to back this up, see if we have any new storm reports coming in from the National Weather Service and from Emergency Management. Another tornado touchdown, another tornado confirmed. This one near North Huntington. This was the one I was trying to get video of. So this happened earlier, and now you have another storm that's coming into the same general vicinity. Video relayed of a tornado near Harrison City, Westmoreland County. That happened at 3:50, so that was right at the top of the hour. So that was from an earlier storm, and now we have this latest storm that is coming into play here right now that's moving to the east right now at about 15 miles per hour. So you're sort of having another storm follow up that same spot moving out of the Murraysville area. So we continue with this tornado warning until 5:45. We've had several reports of either tornado damage out towards the Highland Park Bridge. We've had it out towards Harrison City. We've seen multiple reports of funnel clouds, and that was our big concern when we hopped on at 4 o'clock. We were telling you, these storms have had that history of rotation, and that rotation is something that's certainly jumping out at us, and it was a big concern, and now we're seeing this rotation actually translate to tornado damage and several tornado warnings. So Turtle Creek, you are okay at the moment. This is all to your east. McKeesport, this is to your east. North Huntington, this is just to your north. You could be dealing with some hail, but if you're Murraysville, moving out to Salem, we'll get in a little closer here so you can see even some of the other cities that we have on this map. You could see that certainly several locations included in this with Export. You are next in line to see this, and then this is going to continue on towards Delmont. So this storm has had a history of rotation. Nearby tornado warnings, one that was set to expire at 5:15. This one has been allowed to expire up to the north. That one did drop some damage out towards the Highland Park Bridge. And I'm going to just zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to show you some of these storm reports that we have, because this will give you the better sense of, why we're staying on with this. So we have wind damage reports in the vicinity of southern Allegheny County. This is outside of South Park. And this particular tornado warning, or tornado, was in Lincoln. There was video of a probable tornado reported there. So we have a tornado report there. The National Weather Service is going to survey that. We have video of a tornado in Harrison City. So that was one at 3:50. So that occurred, and that's based on video. The National Weather Service, you have, pardon me? Okay, and we actually have those videos now. So we're going to actually take a look at what was prompting these tornado warnings. Let's take a look at those videos, and to do that, we're going to toss it back to the anchors.
Yeah, Ray, thank you so much for covering all of this for us. There is so much going on right now, and we are grateful that you are keeping us safe and letting us know where this information is happening and where these storms are going.
We have a viewer showing us a video that showed some rotation near Interstate 70 in Washington County. That was from a little bit earlier. We can also show you the live PennDOT camera on Route 28 at Fox Chapel Road. That's not far from where funnel cloud was in the vicinity. You can see emergency vehicles responding to an apparent incident there. Route 28 almost completely blocked right now.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking at right there. You can see it looks like no traffic going at all. Well, just barely inching around those emergency vehicles there. So that's Route 28. But again, we are just starting to get some video in now from Harrison City, where we are seeing video of what looks like a funnel cloud or possibly a tornado. Ken, you said the National Weather Service is actually calling it a confirmed tornado.
Right, National Weather Service on X saying they have confirmed 3 tornado touchdowns, one near Harrison City, Westmoreland County, one near Lincoln, Mount Vernon, El Rema, and on Washington Boulevard near the Highland Park Bridge near Aspinwall. So that would be the one in the vicinity of Route 28. And Ray, you were talking about that's the last place you want to be tonight.
100%. We've all been caught on Route 28 in a busy part of the day. Traffic is oftentimes either very slow or a standstill at that point. And then if you have a tornado moving over that area, or even just a storm that can provide such damaging winds moving over such a populated area, that is incredibly dangerous. And hopefully we could get through with just reports of trees or power lines down. But a lot of people were in the way of that storm, and a lot of people are going to have some stories to tell tonight at dinner when they get home. And hopefully there were no injuries associated with that. Now, we still have our tornado warning until 5:45, and this is the tornado warning that's moving out of the Monroeville and Murraysville area and eastward into northern parts of Westmoreland County. And out towards the Murraysville area, we're still seeing some rotation here. It's not popping very well. We're getting some new video in. This is moving towards Harrison City, but just earlier this evening at 3:50, we had this video coming in from Harrison City, and you can certainly see that funnel coming, and there's stuff lifting up. That is lifting up right there. That is likely going to end up being a confirmed tornado. I'm getting real close to the screen here. You'll have to excuse me if the camera comes back, but I'm looking for debris to be showing up there. But certainly rotation. Harrison City, 350, that funnel, that's a tornado. That is, yep, that was at 3:50 today. And I appreciate the viewer for getting that video. You always want to do that from a safe place. If you ever see it looking like it's getting bigger, that means it's moving towards you. Get to your safe spot. And Harrison City, I want you to get to your safe spot again, because we have this storm latest scan coming in. If we could get back to the radar, still trying to show signs. And I'm going to move this circle just a little bit because it's showing that sign. We've talked about the strengthening and the weakening and the strengthening of these storms, and it's doing it again. It's green here. That's telling us that this part of the storm has those winds that are trying to go towards the airport, which is in Moon Township. I know it's on the complete other side of town, but those winds are trying to blow towards the airport. And then on the other side, you have winds blowing away. And if you put those right next to each other, that's the rotation that we look at. That's one of the things the meteorologists will look at to see these storms. And the other thing about this storm is it's moving quite slowly at the moment. And with a storm that's moving slowly, that can cause some issues. That means that the damaging part of the storm can be lingering in a spot for an extended period of time. And these storms have only been moving at roughly about 15 miles per hour. So if you're an export, you should already be in your basement. Delmont, get there now. This storm is moving towards you, and we'll continue that progression towards Delmont here in likely, it's not going to take 15 minutes to get there. That's going to be likely in Delmont here in the next couple of minutes. So Delmont, lowest level of your home. Trees Mills, you get to the lowest level of your home. New Alexandria as well. We're starting to see that tighten up again, that rotation tightening up. And I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service wanted to extend this to continue through Westmoreland County based on that. And so far, the National Weather Service has confirmed, or either has the really good confidence that they've seen at least 3 tornadoes touch down. As Ken mentioned, the one near Harrison City in Westmoreland County, near Lincoln, Mount Verona, El Rema in Allegheny County, and on Washington Boulevard near the Highland Park Bridge That's a Pittsburgh tornado right there. And now we have a flash flood warning for Allegheny County. That was one of the big concerns we had today, too, for some very, very heavy rainfall that would be associated with these storms. That's why we called the first alert weather day in the first place. And now we're sitting here with these damaging storms that have developed. So let's zoom out. We're going to take a look now at the new flash flood warning that's going to be in play until 8:15 tonight. And we're just going to turn on just the warnings so you can see what we're dealing with. The flash flood warning, 8:15, you can see from Pittsburgh down to Elizabeth. This takes you pretty much back out towards Robinson Township, almost to Moon. So we have this this flash flood warning. And can you say that again? Yep, and we have these storms that are continuing to work through as they drop some hefty rainfall. And again, they've been showing several signs of rotation throughout the course of the evening. So again, we have these storms, a tornado warning until 5:45, and that does include northern Westmoreland County. On top of that, we have a flash flood warning until 8:15 p.m. for Allegheny County, again from Pittsburgh down towards Elizabeth, and then as you get back into Westmoreland County. So we have the tornado warnings, the flash flood warnings that remain in effect as we continue through the next at least couple of hours with the flash flood warning, the tornado warning. Hopefully we can wrap this up at 5:45. Let me know if that's better, guys, in the control room. But then we have our tornado warning, as I mentioned, till 5:45, and this goes for export back to right across basically Route 66, and then as you continue a little bit from there. So export right now, you should be in the lowest level of your home in the safe spot, and that's what we have for you there. I can't, if you could call Todd down to take care of that. We have some, I'm sorry, talking with the control room. So export to Delmont, we have this tornado warning till 5:45, Slickville, down 819 to Salem Township. This may continue on towards you. Now, I'm not seeing a big hook. I'm not seeing that sign that things are rotating around this storm, but we do still have that little bit here that tells us that there wants to be some rotation just north of export. This is going to be passing just near Delmont, and it is cruising towards Route 66. So Westmoreland County, from export to Delmont. If you're familiar with Route 22, you will want to be in the lowest level of your home. While we wait this one out, I'm going to look at a different form of velocity that the radar has for us, and I'm going to take a look at some of the rotation over time. And that rotation over time still shows that we've had that track. This is why the tornado warning has been issued. That track moved over Route 22. 22, a very busy traveled roadway, another spot you do not want to see a tornado warning this time of day when there's a lot of people traveling. So we're going to take a look at some of the new storm reports coming in, because these storm reports have been sort of telling the story as well as to why this has been so concerning. So we've had several reports here, and all these red ones are either tornadoes or funnel clouds. We've had 3 likely tornadoes that have been reported. One down towards Lincoln, one out towards the Highland Park Bridge. There was a funnel cloud right near that, near O'Hara. And then as you get into North Huntington, Harrison City area, there was another likely tornado. So we've been getting these videos coming in of rotation, of these storms, of likely tornadoes touching the ground in these spots. Now, when it comes to this, we look at the rotation in the storm, and that over time has shown enough rotation on and off where these tornado warnings are being extended a little longer than sometimes they likely would. But that's to play it safe, as if you've been with me since before 5 o'clock when we started hopping on for the tornado warning, there was no real signs of rotation. Then it'd show up, and then it would dissipate a little bit, then it would show up, and they just extended that warning like I said, we're playing it safe with these storms. Now, with this latest tornado warning, or the continuation of the current one, we are going to see this tornado warning continue on again till 5:45. They just extended its length. So Slickville, you are now in the path of this tornado that is moving quite slowly at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. So this is a slow moving storm. This is one of those storms that was indicated by the radar rotation. So the radar is picking up on enough rotation that it has triggered the alarm bells to say, hey, this storm and many of the other ones have been showing that sign of rotation, and several signs of rotation. They have been equaling damage on the ground in many cases, and we have seen several reports of either funnel clouds or tornadoes getting sent into our newsroom, at least 3 at the moment. So all this is happening, and on top of that, this storm is now moving into areas right now over Delmont. This is just outside of Jeannette, PA. This is to the north. It has picked up its forward speed a little bit to 30 miles per hour, and that's why this one did get extended, because now it's moving a little faster, so it's going to cover a little more ground than when it previously spun up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to put a storm track on this so you guys can see the cities that are in the path. But Salzburg, this is going to be moving out towards you. We're going to push this out a little further. Tunnelton, Jackson, Blacklick. So Salzburg, 544. This should be probably more about 540-ish towards you. You are on the far end of this warning that's now continuing its way even towards Tunnelton. This could get extended as well. We're going to take a look at the rotation, because this is what we look at, and there's still something popping here to us. You can see it just looks a little different from everything else, and I guess difference is the best way to explain this. You have some winds that are quickly moving away from the radar, and then other winds that aren't moving quite as fast adjacent to each other. So that could be a sign that there's some rotation. We'll look at this a little differently in terms of the storm movement. We call this storm relative velocity. And we still see that back on the back edge of this storm, just a slight twisting in the atmosphere that we are concerned about at the moment. So if you are in Slickville, of course, you're going to want to wait this one in the lowest level of your home. Salzburg, get ready for that. This is just north of Route 22, if you're familiar with Salem. And Salem, I'm just going to tell you this, get in the lowest level of your home too. This is pretty close to you. So if you're Salem, along 819 there, get into the lowest level of your home as well. This is, even though you may not have had your phone go off, this is close enough to you where we have that rotation showing up. That's going to continue to move on towards Salzburg. So Salzburg, you are in line with this one as well, as this storm moves slowly to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. It's moving faster than it was, but now it's continuing that motion to the northeast. So we still have that going on at the moment. We're going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to take a look at some of the other storms we have around the region, because you don't want to get too hyper-focused on one area and ignore somewhere else. We've had several locations picking up on hefty rainfall, Allegheny County being one of them, and we have that flash flood warning until 8:15, Pittsburgh to the south. So water's coming up because we've been getting dumped on over the past couple of days. We've seen some pockets of these storms just popping up and dumping incredible amounts of rain in a short period of time. That's a concern we have. If you do come across a water-covered roadway, turn around, don't drown. I don't know how many times this happens, especially in this area, and people try to drive through it, their cars stall, and then you have to go back and have yourself rescued. So turn around, don't drown. This is video coming in from Route 66 in Hempfield Township. So this is in the vicinity. What just popped up? I'm sorry? Okay, these clouds just quickly move through. You can see very dark clouds in this area. Is this a live shot, or is this video coming in? This is a live shot out that way. So some very dark clouds in the vicinity of where we've had some of this severe weather and where these tornado warnings have been popping up. Obviously, an ominous sky back that way and along 66. I'm just looking at this video and thankful that there's not more people on the road right now, because this has been an incredible evening with these storms popping up that are causing these twist-ups and funnel clouds and tornadoes. There's no lightning in these things. These aren't your traditional tornadoes. So you see it comes in, it looks as rain, and if you're not a trained meteorologist or a trained weather enthusiast, and you just look at the radar, you'd think it's just rain, but what we started noticing were these hooks on the radar. Then you look at the velocity, and then you start seeing that there's actually rotation associated with those hooks, and that causes concern. And then people start sending in videos of funnel clouds and tornadoes, and then you're getting damage reports. This is one of those days that unfolds not like you'd expected. We were ready to go for the flash flooding that we see in southern Allegheny County right now, but when it comes down to it, it was not looking like a day that would be ripe for tornadoes. But that's why we watch every single storm that develops, because that's important, because even when it doesn't look like all the ingredients are there, if a storm finds the ingredients, it will spin up a tornado. Now, we have had this very interesting evening unfold. We still have a flash flood warning. That's going to continue until 8:15. And one of the concerns with that is we still have some pretty steady rainfall. And this flash flood warning certainly could lead to some major travel issues for this evening. This goes from Pittsburgh down to Elizabeth, back through Bethel Park, back through Bishop is where it ends, and then it goes up through Pittsburgh and pretty much where 30 and the Parkway come together out there. So you get back towards Robinson to Monroeville, up into the north side. So turn around, don't drown. There could be some other flash flood warnings that try to appear because of this. But then on top of that, we have our tornado warning. And now this system continues its trek from Delmont. Delmont, it's going to get better here in the next couple minutes. Delmont, I still want you to wait this one out. It's just north of you, and the worst of it's moving into Slickville at the moment. I'm going to switch back to that velocity mode that I've been showing you, because when you're a meteorologist looking at these storms, that's one of the better tools you have to view the rotation in the atmosphere. It's not looking like it's popping like it was. Certainly, that there's still a difference here. And that difference is saying, hey, there's still something going on, and that difference is moving towards Slickville. So we're going to watch this, because this is the spot where we've seen those little twist-ups occurring. You go from one radar scan that looks like this, and then the next one, you see what looks like a twist-up. And that's been sort of our big issue as we've gone through this evening. And that's right over Slickville right now. So Slickville, I want you to be safe. I want you to be in the lowest level of your home. Wait this one out. Give it a few minutes. I'll let you know when you're in the all clear there. Now, as you continue eastward, that tornado warning runs through Salzburg, and then it will continue on from there. So if you're even in Delmont, New Alexandria, Salem, wait this one out in the lowest level of your home. This is real close to you. I know your phone may have not given you the emergency alert, but this is pretty close to you, and we want you to wait through that one. So zooming out here. That is the area of concern I see when it comes to rotation over time. That's the spot that's sort of had the history, the reputation of spinning, and that continues. And this is north of Greensburg. Greensburg, you're fine. Yeah, you're getting rain. You might get some hail in there, but this is just north of you, almost to Bell. Even Bell, I want you to wait in the lowest level of your home. In Indiana County, I want you to sort of focus in on this area, because you are sort of downstream from this. This is moving in that direction. These storms, if you've been following us here, have had this history where we've had several reports of funnel clouds, several reports of likely tornadoes coming in from the National Weather Service. All these red circles here, those are either funnel clouds or tornadoes sent into the National Weather Service, that they looked at the video and they said, this is a clear example of what we've seen based on the radar. That's a tornado. And we've had several of these videos even come into our newsroom. Wind damage reports down towards Elizabeth, towards El Rama, a spot that's been known to get severe weather down there in southern Allegheny County. And now we have these storms that still have tornado warnings associated with them, at least for another 10 minutes, according to the National Weather Service. So I'm going to pop up the radar. I'm going to take a little gander at what the National Weather Service is saying about some of these current storms and if they're getting any new reports coming in. Funnel cloud near the St. Margaret Hospital. That was in Aspinwall. That's the funnel cloud that we showed you there on the map when it's coming to the storm report. So that was for reference where a funnel cloud was seen just past where likely tornado damage occurred was at St. Margaret Hospital. Now, the National Weather Service is saying to us here, a bit of discussion here, the radar presentation of these storms has been a little less than the typical tornado, as we've been telling you, when it comes to the velocity. And what we've been seeing is that these storms are not building up tall enough. And that's why they haven't been showing that lightning show that typically comes with a storm like this. You typically need to pull off lightning, a storm that builds up to 25,000 feet or slanted at 25,000 feet to get those charges pulled apart to pull off the lightning. That's not happening here. So these are some low tornadoes or low top tornadoes that haven't been popping up enough to pull off lightning, but certainly there's enough ingredients in there to pull off rotation that equates to rotation on the ground in the form of a tornado. And we've seen it time and time again. And right now, Slickville, you're getting better. You're getting better. Just wait it out a couple more minutes. Salzburg, get ready for this one. This gusty storm, potentially with rotation. Radar indicated tornado warning until 5:45 for you. You'll want to wait this one out in the lowest level of your home as well. And thank you for staying with us this evening as we continue to track these storms that have been twisting up and have caused several reports of damage, several reports of tornadoes, and we've had several videos come into the newsroom of rotation and heavy rain. Now, on top of the tornado warning, we have a flash flood warning. This is in southern Allegheny County, so Pittsburgh down to the county line. This includes the South Hills, Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon, Bethel Park. This includes areas all the way down to Elizabeth, back to Pittsburgh, back almost to pretty much to Robinson. We've been dealing with this. We've had the heavy rain sort of passing over this spot over and over again. Steady, consistent rain through much of the day on top of that, and that has led to some flooding concerns, and that flash flood warning is in effect until 8:15. That's the other big story, but the one that's captured in the headlines right now is this tornado warning that's in effect for another 6 minutes and 10 seconds. That includes Salzburg as this storm continues that northeastward movement from Slickville to Salzburg. We still have that spot where we've been watching that rotation. It's not looking as quite defined as it was, which is a good sign, but certainly still a storm that's had quite the history and quite the reputation of rotation as it's moved through. Looking at some of the rotation getting picked up by our radar right now, or the function that would pick it up, it's not looking very stark or distinct at this point. We have some video right now coming in from Highland Park. This is a funnel cloud. There it is. That is it. So that's our tornado, folks, that caused damage. A very, very distinct rotation happening there. Oh, man, you don't like to see that during this time of day. But certainly, like most tornadoes in this area, they're blocked by trees or hills. Matt, I'm glad you were able to take this from a distance at a safe spot. This is looking from East Liberty towards Highland Park. This is that storm that caused damage near the Highland Park Bridge. It crossed over Route 28. The funnel cloud continued towards the hospital up there. This video was taken at 4:44 this afternoon. And yeah, it certainly led to quite a bit of damage there. Now, this is coming in from Sharpsburg. Sharpsburg, a little down the line from where that happened. So you go up 28 a little bit more and you get Sharpsburg still. The funnel of that storm showing up And that certainly is the storm that caused the damage. It continued down the line, and now that storm is in Westmoreland County. It continues to move from Slickville towards Salzburg, and we have another 4 minutes left on this tornado warning that, again, is in effect for areas of Slickville, and it's going to get better here in the next couple minutes. So just a couple more minutes, Slickville. Salzburg, you're going to want to wait this one out, but that storm is losing a lot of the signs that tell us that it's rotating and that it's a problem. So that is a good thing for me to see here. But we still have a couple more minutes left on this warning, and the National Weather Service is going to continue to let this one play out for the last 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes left of it. So we're going to look at another storm trying to enter in from the west. So we're going to back this one up a little bit. We're going to go back to that northern panhandle of West Virginia. And if you've been tracking storms with us the past couple of weeks, you know a lot of our activity has come out of there. And, yep, there's some pretty good storms down here. So I want to put, there's nothing right now warning-wise associated with this. But our friends and family in Greene County, Pennsylvania, we're talking Waynesburg, near you, Waynesburg, Rich Hill, down towards Blacksville, down towards 100 into Monongalia County, Morgantown, I'm talking to you. I want you to just stay with us here. We're going to watch this storm coming in out of Wetzel County. This storm out of Wetzel County, no warnings associated with it just yet. But it is, it's showing some signs that it wants to spin up as well. So our friends down to the south, you can see those red and green pops there. That's a sign to us. And then we're going to go to the rotation tracker. And good thing is that's not picking up on a whole lot. But those storms are trying to get their act together. So Greene County, Monongalia County, West Virginia, Greene County, PA. Stay with us. I'm going to keep my eye on those storms for you as well. We take that seriously. I see a little bit trying to show up there. Hopefully those don't come to fruition, but we're watching those. Now, good thing here. So we had our original tornado warning that wasn't quite as long because originally this storm was moving very slowly. It picked up its pace, so that warning got extended. But one thing you're noticing here, the rotation tracker of our radar did not continue into this new polygon or this new tornado warning box. That's a sign that our radar is saying, hey, this is weakened enough. But again, with how this evening has played out in an environment that you typically wouldn't expect a tornado to develop, we're just going to let the National Weather Service keep playing this one out for another minute and a half as we wait for the National Weather Service to drop that warning that hopefully will be coming up here very, very soon. On top of that, we are going to be addressing this flash flood warning. I haven't seen any reports of water-covered roadways, but there's been an incredible amount of rainfall that has come down over the past couple of days. And just in the last 24 hours, I mean, southern Allegheny County, we've seen over 2.5 inches. Out towards Elizabeth, we've seen 1.9 in a spot. Out towards Bethel Park, Upper St. Clair, we've seen over 1 inch of rain. They just had flash flooding the other night. So obviously the setup for flooding is there. The surprise was that this environment, even though they're not pulling off lightning or thunder, like our lightning detection's not picking up any lightning in these storms that have delivered tornadoes, tornado damage, amazing tornado video as well. And we're going to see what happens here with the National Weather Service here in the next 10 seconds because they expired it. So that tornado warning has expired for Westmoreland County. Best news I have for you tonight. We still have some rain. We still have a flash flood warning for southern Allegheny County because of the incredible amount of moisture down that way. So dumping rains in parts of southern Allegheny County have led to a flash flood warning. We've had several reports of these storms that have dropped tornadoes or funnel clouds. We've had at least 3 tornadoes that were confirmed by the National Weather Service based on the video. There's been some damage out towards the Highland Park Bridge. That's likely a tornado, and the video we had for you that came in from that was amazing. And then again, for Greene County, Pennsylvania, For Monongalia County, West Virginia, we're watching these storms here coming out of Martinsville towards 100. They've shown some signs of twisting. I'm going to keep my eyes on that. I'm going to regroup on this radar. And at the moment, I'm going to send it back to the news desk. But as it stands right now, the tornado warnings have been canceled. We still, for areas south of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, have a flash flood warning until 8:15.